the brand spanking new Dolce & Gabbana K Eau de Parfum review coming right up. What is going on, guys, and welcome again to another video. Seriously, guys, I was so excited, intrigued, and all the adjectives to smell the new K Eau de Parfum by Dolce & Gabbana. Not because I love the original Eau de Toilette K. The Eau de Toilette K was just okay for me. It was nothing groundbreaking, but it was a nice, safe fragrance. But at the same time, I was really seriously hoping that they would take the footsteps of Yves Saint Laurent with Y, K, Y, K, Y, Eau de Toilette, K, Eau de Toilette was okay, Y, Eau de Parfum, wow, K, Eau de Parfum, and we'll see. That's how I think, don't judge me. I see analytics from competitor brands and I see what they do to compete with each other and what's the trend now. And the trend now is start off with a very fresh, simple, basic fragrance, Eau de Toilette, go a little further with a little richer scent with the Eau de Parfum, then you go with the Parfum, Extrait de Parfum version. And because I'm genius and my analytics was on point, what I figured was actually right. This is a well improved scent into my eyes. In my honest opinion, it's a little darker. It's much darker, honestly, than the original. Yes, they took it a little further than the other competitors. But seriously, guys, I love the route they took with this fragrance. They took it on a totally different niche level in a way. And when I say niche, I don't mean it's a better quality. I'm just saying they're thinking outside the box and they're making something a little different for being mass appealing designer scent that we are usually getting used to. When you first spray this fragrance on, you will get a blast of various citruses, fruity nuances, and some darker nuances at the same time. I knew from the get-go, once I smelled this fragrance, that this fragrance would get darker with time, even though this fragrance, when you first spray it on, it's very extremely fresh and vibrant, but I smelled a lot of patchouli. I don't mess when there's patchouli in fragrances. I love patchouli, not all kind of patchoulis, but the patchouli in here, it's very prominent to my nose. And the patchouli here was on the creamier side. It made me feel like this fragrance got patchouli and some sort of iris or some sort of a woodsy sandalwood combined with the patchouli. It was really in the background at first, behind all the sparkling citruses and all the great top notes that usually fresh fragrances has. But I just knew for a fact that this fragrance would be one of those deceiving type of fragrances that you smell it at first and you think it's very fresh, invigorating, but then when you buy it and you just go home and then you just get something totally different. And seriously, guys, even though this is a flanker for an original fragrance, but the DNA of the original K Eau de Toilette, it was there, but very faint. I would say this is almost a fragrance on its own. And why I said the DNA of the original was almost there, just because the DNA of the original was a generic DNA. You can smell it on way too many bajillion other fragrances out there. It's very basic, very simple. The spicy nuances here are big too with the cardamom. And that cardamom thingy with the creamy, not sandalwood, with the creamy patchouli actually gives this fragrance class, but sexy class in a way. What I'm trying to say is I would consider this type of smell for me personally when I am trying to go out classy, but I just want to smell handsome. I'm trying to be handsome. I don't want to smell I want to smell handsome and smell handsome too. This fragrance smells handsome. Yes, it does smell handsome. And give this fragrance around 30 minutes. That's when it ends transitioning from the top to the heart. And then this fragrance will become a very creamy green fig-based fragrance. This is mainly a fig-based fragrance with a lot of darker nuances combined with it as well. And then it reminds me of a combination of two of my favorite niche fragrances recently. And I'm talking about A.O. by Florico and J'ai fait un rêve by Majda Bakali. This is very patchouli sandalwood based fragrance, but creamy at the same time, with cedarwood as well. The cedarwood here is big, and this is mainly fresh fig leaves. Okay, when you combine these two together at a certain instinct with added freshness on top, and the freshness would make the smell of these two fragrances kind of like diluted in a way, you would smell like K Eau de Parfum. That's why I'm telling you guys, it kind of smells like a nichier version of the original K Eau de Toilette. Also, when I first sprayed it on, it reminded me a lot of a newer fragrance. It didn't get a lot of hype, I don't know why, from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, and it calls Ferragamo. Salvatore Ferragamo is fresh, creamy, but without the darker nuances. It's kind of like a melange between everything all together in a way. And then the cedar would kind of like take place when it dries down alongside with the fig notes, and it gives it somewhat of like a pencil shaving, creamy nuance with the patchouli undertone, but still extremely woodsy creamy, which makes me feel like there's some sort of sandalwood in there or something, or maybe just the cedarwood combined with the fig note kind of like creates a sandalwood creamy effect in a way. And alright, this is the main question. Listen carefully to this question. What would make you dislike this fragrance? If you're not into darker nuances such as patchouli, cedarwood, sandalwood, fig notes, and darker nuances, well, I said darker nuances, and you're into fresh fragrances, this is probably not gonna be for you. I would say to the regular Joe, the original K Eau de Toilette is much safer than this one, would get more mass appeal over this one, honestly. But if you are a little grown up and this is a grown up version for the original younger Eau de Toilette, you would definitely love this one way more. I don't think this is suitable for teenagers. You have to be maybe like 25 and up, maybe 23 and up or so. You have to be independent. This is type of independent scent for an independent man. Performance was great, and I'm talking from a sample. It was really projecting, really great for at least 2 hours of my skin. It was really hot too, okay? And it just lasted on my skin, not on my clothes, for at least 8 hours. I was still able to smell it after the 8-hour mark, faintly, but it was still there. And I would even think this fragrance might even get you more compliments than the original Eau de Toilette, just because the Eau de Toilette is very basic, very fresh. A lot of people smelt it around you from various fragrances out there. So the likability factor is there, but the compliment factor, it could be not there because it's a random fragrance. But at the same time, especially from a little older people, I'm not saying like old, but like in their 30s or so, the likability factor is much higher, and you most likely would get compliments from this fragrance over the original, just because this is a different fragrance. This is different enough for people to ask you what you're wearing. I personally think this is a great off-season scent, mainly for fall or spring as well. It'll work for my winter climate because I live in LA, but I don't think if you live in a very cold area, this one would cut through the cold, honestly. And at the same time, I feel like this one is way too heavy for summer, anywhere pretty much. So this is pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys again for watching and subscribing and doing all the good stuff. Please give me as many likes as you can possibly give. 300 likes for this video would make me happy, so please make me happy. Also, don't forget to let me know in the comment section down below. Have you tried this fragrance yet? I'm really curious and I would love to know. What do you think of the original K Eau de Toilette? I personally thought it was a great everyday type of a scent, but it was nothing groundbreaking for my liking. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it, and follow me on Instagram just to know everything about me, because I know you're curious and you're nosy just like me, and just go follow me on Instagram now, okay? And that's it. I go home now. Peace. Oh, well, I'm home. Peace.